All right, guys, up next, we're going to preview the Dream On show for Thursday, May 19th from Yokohama Radiant Hall. Let's take a look at that and run down my thoughts on it real quickly here. Show's going to kick off with Extreme Tiger teaming with Yohei against Hal and Alejandro. Interesting tag team here. Extreme Tiger and Yohei, I see them gelling extremely well. I see them working as a tag team better than Alejandro and Hal, even though Alejandro and Hal do work together on a regular basis. So maybe that doesn't make a lot of sense. But there's just my wrestling sense, my fandom, my spidey tingle says Extreme Tiger and Yohei are going to be an excellent tag team. And they're going to give Hal and Alejandro fits, even though they will work together well. Of course, they're Noah Jr. regulars who eat, sleep, and train together. And I'm not talking myself out of it because I really think Extreme Tiger has come in here fired up and brings something special. And Yohei is always something special. And they'll get the win here over Hal and Alejandro in a good opening tag team matchup. Next match is going to be one of my favorites. I'm obviously a big fan of Michael Elgin. I've been following his career pretty much since it started. Taking on Rene, Dupree, one half of the GHC heavyweight tag team champions. This will be two Bull of the Woods, two strong men going at each other, but Michael Elgin has something special. I think coming into Noah has lit a fire under Michael Elgin that can't be matched. It just can't. I mean, his life circumstances, the fact that the man contemplated suicide just not that long ago, the fact that the man has been ridden into the ground by people in this country that are just ridiculous blue-haired weirdos, and he's getting to go to Noah, his favorite company in the world. I can relate to that greatly. And I just think he's inspired. And nothing against Rene Dupree. He stormed into Noah with his partner Wagner Jr. and instantly won the tag titles back against his fellow faction members in the Segura army, Takashi Segura and Hideki Suzuki. So that's nothing to sneeze at, and that's highly impressive as well. But I just think it's very, very hard to be as motivated and driven as Michael Elgin is right now, and that in and of itself is going to give the win here to Michael Elgin in a very solid match. I don't see it being super long. I'm not saying it's going to be any type of squash in any way. But I think these guys will go at each other hard and fast. And the match will probably be under 10 minutes. And Michael Elgin should get the win, in my opinion. Excuse me, guys. Again, apologize. Tanman tag team matchup. Just insanity. But we've got my boys from Congo. We got Keno. We got Katsuhiko Nakajima. We got Tadasuke. We got Hajime Ohara. We've got Hiroki. And they're taking on Daisuke Harada, Atsushi Katogi, Yoshiki Inamura, Junta Miyawaki, and Kenya Okada. Again, Congo needs wins. And the last show I predicted they get a good one. I predicted that Hiroki is on the ball, that he's breaking out of his doldrums and he's going to come around. Excuse me. Congo's going to continue that. Congo's going to get the win here. They're going to take out Miyawaki or Okada in a very good matchup, but there's no way that Congo continues to be held down. I really think they start getting their wins back. I think Nakajima is going to take somebody out here again. I think Nakajima is going to prove that he's not going to be swept under a rug, that he's not going to be forgotten, that he's not going to be pushed down the card. And in an excellent matchup, I think Congo wins it when Nakajima gets the win. Been waiting on this one. The next matchup, Kaito Kiyomiya versus Simon Gotch. This could be the main event, guys. I mean, this is going to be amazing. This is probably, I just said that Michael Elgin's probably going to be my favorite match, but this is going to be up there as well. Simon Gotch, again, fits perfectly in Noah, comes over on fire. Don't love the haircut, but everything else about him is perfect for Pro Wrestling Noah. Kiyomiya is ridiculously difficult to beat. He doesn't lose many matches. He just took Goji Ozaki to the limit for that GHC Heavyweight Championship and looked incredible as he's ever looked in a loss. So I think Kaito Kiyomiya gets the win here. I think he gets a big win over Simon Gotch. I think it's going to be tough. I think he's going to have to work as hard as he's ever worked. And it's going to be a giant win for Kiyomiya in a wonderful, wonderful match. Next up is a six-man matchup. We got Hayata teaming with Ogawa and Chris Ridgeway. So we got Stinger there taking on Stinger. Seiki Yoshioka, Yu Susumu, and their partner Kai Fujimura. Kai Fujimura better come strapped in, strapped down, ready to go, because this is going to be as heated as it comes. Here we got Hayata, who Susumu and Yoshioka have tried to claim Hayata is on their side, that Hayata is teaming with them or rooting for them or what have you in their battle against Ogawa and Ridgeway for the junior heavyweight tag titles. And we're going to see if that's reflected here or not. And Fujimura is the weak link in Yoshioka and Susumu here. He's going to get singled out and beaten up by Ogawa and Ridgeway. It's all going to come down to what Hayata does. If Hayata stands with his team, if he stands with Ogawa and Ridgeway, they get the win here. If he doesn't, Yoshioka and Susumu get a big win in a preview of their upcoming match against the tag champions. Hayata's the key here. Hayata's the key. Single matchup, the other half of the GHC Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Dr. Wagner Jr. Against Masakita. Masakita has already made Wagner Jr. tap out to the prison lock on one of the last shows in a multi-man matchup. There's no reason he couldn't do it again. I suspect he will do it again. I think Masakita gets the win in this preview matchup for the Tag Team Championship. And finally, the main event of this show is Go Shiozaki teaming with Daiki Inaba against Satoshi Kojima and Naomichi Marufuji. Now again, this is two singles matchup focused in a tag team match, meaning Kojima and Shiozaki. Kojima already has a win in a tag team matchup over Shiozaki, hit him with his lariat, pinned him 1-2-3. Inaba and Marufuji they're going to be facing each other for the rest of their careers at this point, I think. They have magic. They have something special. Whenever they fight, it's a kind of thing. I don't want to say fight forever because it's one of the corniest slogans and cheers in all of wrestling. But it's something you want to see multiple rematches. It's something you don't get tired of. Watching Marufuji and Inaba fight each other is something that if it's on the card, you're never going to complain about it, and you know it's always going to be great. And it will be here. I think Shiozaki and Inaba probably win this because Kojima already got the victory over Shiozaki. Here, I think Shiozaki maybe pins Marufuji. I don't know. This is a very tough call. If Kojima wins again, boy, that's going to be a strong message to pay close attention, not that you shouldn't anyway, to Kojima versus Shiozaki coming up in this Cyber Fight Festival. That I really have not much interest in because I don't care about DDT at all. Guys, I'm just laying it out there. I'm not super into this cyber fight thing because I just love the Noah guys, but don't care if I ever see these DDT guys unless they're coming into Noah. But I digress. Here, I'm going to say Shiozaki and Inaba win this one way or another because I just would be shocked if Kojima gets another victory over Shiozaki, but wouldn't blow my mind if that happens. But this is a great show. I think it's highlighted by the singles matches. Elgin versus Dupree. Kiyomiya versus Gotch. Wagner Jr. versus Kitamiya. Now, the other matches are great and fine, and previews, and the Stinger match, of course, is going to be great because Stingers is great. But I love singles matches more than anything, and I think this has three great ones on this card. Again, we're talking about Dream On 2022 coming to us on May 19th from Yokohama Radiant Hall. You want to check that show out. Of course, on the next podcast, we will be reviewing this show and laying it all out there. Again, I apologize, guys, that I'm still slightly under the weather. I'm still coughing to a degree. You can probably still hear it in my voice that I'm not 100%. And I know this show isn't my best because of my physical condition. Next up is the Noah News. To wrap up this week's Mount Ararat podcast, I appreciate your support, and I'll be back to form soon. I promise you that. We'll be back with the news.